Hare Krishna. I heartily welcome one and all to this program of Narsimha Nirajanam. Am I audible? Can one of you please confirm?
Yes, Prabhu, you are audible.
Thank you very much. So I once again welcome all of you to this Narsimha Nirajanam program, which we will be having for the next 40 days. We would be discussing the complete 7th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, the greatest Purana, and 3 of us will be taking this course. So let us all pray to the Supreme Lord to invoke His blessings. So I would want to speak on why we have actually chosen to speak on 7th canto. Firstly, I assume that many participants in this group have also attended our previous program in English, that is the Gita Sandesh program. And most of you must be having an idea of what is being taught in Bhagavad Gita. Who is Krishna? Who is Jiva? What is Bhakti? What is the relationship between Jiva and the Supreme Lord? So this is Srimad Bhagavatam is actually called as the graduate study or the postgraduate study. It's the next step which we take after studying Bhagavad Gita. But why we have chosen 7th canto is we all know the situation of the world right now, particularly situation of India. The whole society is in a complete state of uncertainty about the future, uncertainty about what is going to happen the next moment due to COVID-19 pandemic. We have been seeing so many people are getting affected. Every other day we are hearing so many deaths, so much of confusion in the society. Despite vaccine being available, no one really knows how this is going to come down or when the normalcy is going to come back or how the virus is behaving. So it's a complete state of uncertainty in near future. So only one person knows the past, present and future. That is the Supreme Lord Krishna. So therefore, particularly the Lord in his most prominent and famous incarnation as Sri Narsingadev, he incarnates in order to protect his devotees from all the obstacles which are caused in the devotees' devotional service to him. He incarnated in order to protect Prahlad, because Prahlad was confronted with so many obstacles. Today we see that each and every one of us, we are being confronted with so many obstacles in our normal life, so many obstacles. Even very close friends and relatives, they are also fearing if we try to visit their houses. And either one is suffering from corona or one is undergoing deep suffering due to so many things like this, like the lockdowns, unable to meet one's near and dear ones, and everyone looking at everyone else with suspicion, the children being completely locked down, their social life is almost nil now. So in this situation, wherein we are having so many obstacles to render devotional service, we are actually praying to, in fact, there is no obstacle to render devotional service, that we will study slowly. But when we are seeing so many external obstacles, particularly the 7th canto deals with the incarnation of Lord Narsimhadev, the incarnation of the Supreme Lord, Lord Narsimhadev, how he incarnates and the history behind his incarnation, how he protects his dear devotee Prahlad, which we'll be seeing in our subsequent discussions. So we also request all of you to give the names of those people who are near and dear to you, who are suffering, either suffering from COVID-19 or who have passed away due to COVID-19. So we have an exclusive prayer session, or called the Archana session, which we will be performing for the benefit of all of them. So let us get started with the Mangalacharan. Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Preshthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swamin Iti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvisesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Vagisha Yasya Vadane Lakshmir Yasya Cha Vakshasi Yasya Te Hridaye Samvi Tam Rishimhamaham Bhaje Ekena chakram aparena karena shankam anyena sindhu tanayam avalambya tishtan vame tarena varada bhaya padma chihnam lakshmi nrisimha mamadehi karavalambam ugram viram mahavishnam jwalantam sarvato mukham nrisimham bhishanam bhadram mrityur mrityor namamyaham Prahlada Narada Parashara Pundarika Vyasadi Bhagavata Pungava Nivasa Bhaktanurukta Paripalana Parijata Lakshmi Nrisimha Mamadehi Karavalambam. So, in this discussion, apart from discussing the 7th canto, we would also be presenting to you a small tour of various kshetras of Sri Narsingh, the various places in which Lord Narsingh is being worshipped. You can also share with us your experiences in visiting one or more of these places. We would like to screen them and then display them in our future discussions. We have Sri Varaha Narasimha Swami from Simhachalam, which is being shown here. Sri Lakshmi Narasimha Swami from Ahobilam, the Navanarsimha. Kadiri, Anantapur, Panakala Narasimha Swami from Mangalagiri, and Sri Lakshmi Narasimha Swami from Antarvedi, Yogananda Narasimha Swami from Vedadri, Ketavaram, Vedagiri, Vadapalli, Mattapalli, and many more places also they are there. So let us have an overview of 7th canto first. How the 7th canto unfolds itself. So the main classification or the main sections in 7th canto are 2 sections. One is the story of Prahlad and the second is the Varnashrama Dharma. So the story of Prahlad is completely about bhakti. When we say dharma, there are 2 types of dharma, Bhagavad Dharma and Varnashram Dharma. Bhagavad Dharma is about the soul's relationship with the Supreme Lord Krishna. And Varnashrama Dharma is how when the soul is actually present, when the soul has a material body, how one must conduct himself in the society according to his psychophysical nature, according to the material body which he has received. And the goal of Varnashrama Dharma is Bhagavad Dharma. So therefore, these are the 2 main classifications. The story of Prahlad, it's about Bhagavad Dharma and the Varnashrama Dharma. And then we have the preface, and then we have a presentation of what devotional service is, and then we have the section on appearance of Lord Narsimha. So again, the preface starts with the story of Jaya and Vijaya. In fact, it begins with the section where Parikshit Maharaj inquires from Sukadeva Goswami about a few details of how the Supreme Lord reciprocates with different classes of people. And there is the story of killing of Hiranyakashipu, Hiranyaksha, Hiranyakashipu's austerity and boon, the birth of Prahlad Maharaj, followed by the devotion of Prahlad Maharaj, the instructions given by Prahlad Maharaj, Narada's instruction to Prahlad, appearance of Lord Narsimha, how Lord appears, and how Prahlad pacifies and prays to Narsimha, the killing of Hiranyakashipu, the coronation of Prahlad Maharaj, and then we have the description of Varnashrama Dharma, the Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra, the different Varnas and the different ashramas, Brahmachari, Vanaprastha, Sannyasi and Grihasthashram. So today we would be reciting one very famous verse glorifying Lord Narsimha. This is called as Karavalamba Stotram. As we have been discussing previously, the only solace, the only hope which we all find in this point of time, at this point of time, when there is utter chaos, confusion and suffering, is the Supreme Lord. Particularly this section which we are going to discuss, it is about the Supreme Lord's incarnation as Narsimhadev, who incarnated in order to destroy, in order to remove all the obstacles which confront a devotee when rendering his devotional service. So this has been authored by a great saint or a great Acharya, Sripad Shankaracharya. So we will be reciting this verse first. Shrimatpayonidhim Niketana Chakrapane Bhogendra Bhogamaniranjita Punyamurte Yogisha Sashvata Saranya Bhavadipota Lakshmi Nrisimha Mamadehi Karavalambam. Rudra Arka Kirita Koti Sangatti Tangri Kamala Malakanti Kanta Lakshmi Lasat Kuchataroru Haraja Hamsa Lakshmi Nrisimha Mamadehi Karavalambam. Samsara Davadaha Dahanukula Bhishanoru Jwala Valibi Atidagda Tanuru Hasya Tvatpada Padmasarashim Sharanagatasya Lakshmi Nrisimha Mamadehi Karavalambam. Samsara Kupamati Gora Magada Moolam Samprapya Dukkha Shata Sarpa Samakkulasya Deenasya Deva Kripaya Padamagatasya Lakshmi Nrisimha Mamadehi Karavalambam. Sagara Vishala Karala Kala Nakragrashita Nigraha Vigrahasya Vyadasya Ragani Chayormi Piditi Tasya Lakshmi Nrisimha Mamadehi Karavalambam. Samsara Bhikara Karindra Karabhighata Nishpidyamanava Pushasa Kalartinasha Prana Prayana Bhavabhiti Samakkulasya Lakshmi Nrisimha Mamadehi Karavalambam. Samsara Sarpa Vishadigta Mano Mahogrativra Damshtragra Koti Paridashta Vinashta Murte Nagari Vahana Subodhi Nivasya Shaure Lakshmi Nrisimha Mamadehi Karavalambam. Samsara Vriksha Agabija Mananta Karma Shakaryutam Karnapatra Mananga Pushpam Aruhya Dukkha Phalinam Patitam Dayalo Lakshmi Nrisimha Mamadehi Karavalambam. Samsara Sagara Vishala Karala Kala Nakragraha Grasita Nigraha Vigrahasya Vyadasya Ragani Chayormi Pidiritasya Lakshmi Nrisimha Mamadehi Karavalambam. Samsara Sagara Nimajjana Muhyamanam Deenam Vilokaya Vibho Karunani Demam Prahlada Keda Parihara Krita Vatara Lakshmi Nrisimha Mamadehi Karavalambam. Samsara Ghora Gahane Charato Murare Marogra Vikara Vriga Prachuritya Artasya Matsara Nidakta Shudhikitasya Lakshmi Nrisimha Mamadehi Karavalambam. Badvaggale Bhata Bahutarya Janta Karshanti Yatra Bhavapasha Shateryutam Mam Ekakinam Paravasha Chakitam Dayalo लक्ष्मी नृसिंह मम देहि करावलम्बम् लक्ष्मीपते कमलनाभ सुरेश विष्णु यज्ञेश यज्ञमधुसूदन विश्वरूपा ब्रह्मण्य केशव जनार्दन वासुदेव लक्ष्मी नृसिंह मम देहि करावलम्बम् एकेन चक्रमपरेण करेण शङ्खम् अन्येन सिन्धुतनयम् अवलम्ब्य तिष्ठन् वामेतरेण वरदाभयपद्मचिह्नम् लक्ष्मी नृसिंह मम देहि करावलम्बम् अन्धस्य मे हृतविवेकमहाधनस्य घोरैर्महाबलिभिरिन्द्रयनामधेय मोहन्धकारकुहरे विनिपाति तस्य लक्ष्मी नृसिंह मम देहि करावलम्बम् प्रह्लाद नारद पराशर पुण्डरीका व्यासादिभागवत पुङ्गवह्रीन्निवास भक्तानुरुक्त परिपालन पारिजात लक्ष्मी नृसिंह मम देहि करावलम्बम् लक्ष्मी नृसिंह चरणाब्ज मधुव्रतेन स्तोत्रं कृतं शुभकरं भुवि शङ्करेण एतत् पतन्ति मनुजा हरिभक्तियुक्ता लक्ष्मी नृसिंह मम देहि करावलम्बम्. So let us see what this verse actually says. How Sripad Adi Shankaracharya is glorifying Lord Narasimha. Srimad Payonidhi Niketana Chakrapane Bhogindra Bhoga Maniranjita Punyamurte Yogesha Sashvata Saranya Bhavaddi Pota Lakshmi Narasimha Mamadehi Karavalambam. So it means, oh my Lord, your form is all beautiful because you are the master of goddess of fortune. We all know in this world, everyone is behind money. So therefore, one actually worships Lakshmi Devi. But it is said here, your form is all beautiful. Who is the Lord? The Lord is the master of goddess of fortune. Srimad Payonidhi Niketana Chakrapane Bhogindra Bhogamani Ranjita Punyamurte. So your form is all beautiful because you are the master of goddess of fortune. So when everybody is behind money, Lakshmi Devi, behind worshipping Lakshmi Devi is actually serving the Supreme Lord. So Lord is the master of goddess of fortune. You reside in the ocean of milk and you carry the Sudarshana disc in your hand. Your all auspicious form is made even more resplendent by the jewel-like body of Anantadeva. We are able to see the body of Anantadeva here, the king of serpents upon whom you rest. You are the eternal deliverer from the ocean of birth and death for all those who seek your shelter, and you are the master of all mystics. Oh Lakshmi Nrisimha, please bless me. Lakshmi Nrisimha Mama Dehi Karavalambam. That means, oh Lakshmi Nrisimha, please bless me with the touch of your lotus hands. So we all know we are all in this ocean of birth and death in this material world. Sripad Shankaracharya also prays in his Bhajagovindam, Punarapi Jananam, Punarapi Maranam, Punarapi Janani, Jatare Shayanam, Iha Samsare, Bahudukhare, Kripaya Pare, Pahi Murari. Who is Murari? Krishna. Who can save us from this Punarapi Jananam and Punarapi Maranam? From the birth and death, from the cycle of birth and death, only Krishna can save. No one else can save, or only Lord Narasimha can save. Next verse. Brahmendra Rudra Marudarka Kirita Koti Sangati Tangri Kamala Malakanti Kanta. Sangati Tangri Kamala Malakanti Kanta. So it is said here, Lord Brahma, Lord Indra, Lord Shiva, the Maruts and the sun god all fall down with their tens and millions of helmets at your lotus feet, which is most dear to the goddess of fortune, Lakshmi, who appears as beautiful as a royal swan enjoying the lotus flower of your chest. Oh Lakshmi Narasimha, please bless me with the touch of your lotus hands. So next verse is Samsara Davadaha Tahano Kulabhisha Noru Jwalavali atidagta tanoru hasya. So the conditioned soul in this material world, he suffers on the path of repeated birth and death, exactly like one caught in a forest fire. I hope all of you agree with me. We are all suffering in this world. Now the suffering has increased for the past 1 year, definitely. But even before that, there was suffering only. From the time we are born until the time we die. If you see, the complete material world is a place of suffering, which already Lord certifies in Bhagavad Gita. Lord says, Dukkhalayam Asashvatam. So this material world is certified by the creator of material world himself as a place of dukkha or dukkhalayam. Devalayam means the place where all the devatas are there. Dukkhalayam means that place where only dukkha is there. So the conditioned soul, why the conditioned soul suffers death, suffers in this material world? Because of repeated birth and death. He is born and he has to die again. Again he is born, again he has to die. So the conditioned soul suffers on the path of repeated birth and death, exactly like one caught in a forest fire. Now, why the forest fire happens? Is there any reason why the forest fire happens? No, it just happens. That's all. It is just caught. Being fearful, his body is burned by the licking flames. He cries most pitiably. So this is the situation of the conditioned soul in this material world. Just as one is tormented by a forest fire, just as one tormented by a forest fire may take shelter in a pond. So when there is a forest fire and when one is tormented by that forest fire, one actually searches for some pond or lake. So similarly, Shankaracharya glorifies Lord's lotus feet. Your lotus feet are just like a pond, giving refuge to the surrendered soul from the forest fire of samsara. This whole material world is like this whole material existence is like a forest fire. So it is being, Shankaracharya is praying to Narsimha. He is glorifying the lotus feet of Lord Narsimha, that the lotus feet of the Supreme Lord are just like a pond for the soul who is suffering in the forest fire of this samsara. Next verse. Samsara kupamati ghora magada moolam samprapya dukkha shata sarpa samakulasya deenasya deva kripaya padamagatasya Lakshmi Nrisimha mama dehi karavalambam. So he says here, having fallen into the horrible and bottomless well of repeated birth and death, that is this material existence, which is compared to a horrible and bottomless well. When a well has a bottom, it is certain that it is going to end there, irrespective of how deep it is. But here it is the material world, the material existence of which we are all a part of, is being compared to a horrible and bottomless well of repeated birth and death. One never knows when this repeated cycle of birth and death is going to end, and one cannot try to end this on one's own strength. So therefore, one needs the protection and mercy of the Supreme Lord. So that is being prayed for here. Having fallen into the horrible and bottomless well of repeated birth and death, I am tormented by the serpent of 100-fold miseries. Just imagine a deep, dark well which does not have a bottom at all. And there are so many insects, there are so many reptiles, and when one falls into that well, what will be one's situation? One situation is, one cannot express in words. It is so much, it is filled with difficulty. Such a situation, one is completely in a very miserable situation there. And who can save one from misery? Only a person who can give one a rope, who can pull one out. And who is that? That is the Lord's lotus feet. Taking shelter of the Lord's lotus feet, that means by rendering devotional service unto the Lord, which begins with Shravanam and Kirtanam, which is what we are going to do today and in the subsequent sessions. So, worshipping the lotus feet of the Lord, surrendering to the lotus feet of the Lord, the process of bhakti which begins with hearing about the Lord. So therefore he says, I am tormented by the serpent of hundredfold miseries. In this fallen condition, O Lord, by your mercy, I am surrendered to your lotus feet. O Lakshmi Nrsimha, please bless me with the touch of your lotus hands. Next verse is Samsara Sagara Vishala Karala Kala Nakra Graha Grashita Nigraha Vigrahasya Vyadasya Ragani Chayormi Nipiditasya Lakshmi Nrsimha Mamadehi Karavalambam. He prays here in the broad ocean of material existence. This material existence is compared to an ocean. So, when one is put into an ocean, even if he is a very good swimmer, can he swim all through himself and reach the shore of the ocean? No. One needs shelter of the Lord. So, Shankaracharya prays here, in this broad ocean of material existence, I am broken and smashed again and again by the powerful waves of my accumulated attachments. So what are those waves in the material ocean? The waves are nothing but the karmic reactions which bind. Grasped in the jaws of the fearful crocodile of the eternal time factor, I am pierced, ripped apart and swallowed. When one's feet is caught in a crocodile's jaw, one is actually pierced, ripped apart and swallowed. So that is the situation of this conditioned soul in material existence. And therefore, Shankaracharya prays to Lord Nrsimha for the Lord's mercy so that the Lord can actually bless him. The Lord can actually bless all of us to come out of this material existence. In fact, although there is a problem for the past 1 year, and the problem is very intense now, the COVID situation, one must remember that one is eternally in a fearful and miserable situation in this material world. So, of course, whether it be the present situation or whether it be the future situation, we don't know. It may be better, it may not be better, but either ways, the material world, the material existence is full of miseries. And the only hope is seeking shelter of the Lord and getting his mercy. Samsara bhikara karindra karabhighata nishpidyamana vapusha sakalartinasha prana prayana bhavabhiti samakkulasya Lakshmi Nrsimha mama dehi karavalambam. So he says here, you slay the king of the demons, Hiranyakashipu, whose body is as strong as an elephant, by squeezing him with your hands. We will be seeing in the subsequent chapters how Nrsimhadev actually killed Hiranyakashipu. It is given, a very detailed description is given in the Srimad Bhagavatam 7th canto of how Lord incarnates and how he kills Hiranyakashipu. In this way, you destroy all miseries by breaking the fearful cycle of birth and death. Our main problem is repeated birth and death in this material world. That is our main problem. And in this material world, in this material existence, the present problem which we are having has added to the existing problem already. It has just aggravated the existing situation. But on the whole, whether there is corona or not, material world is always fearful. Material world is always miserable. Material world is always filled with anxieties and miseries. So therefore he prays, you are the ultimate goal of life for those who are disturbed by the fear of material existence. O Lakshmi Nrsimha, please bless me with the touch of your lotus hands. When we have the Lord's blessings, one can very easily overcome the fearful situation in this material world. Samsara sarpa vishadigda mano mahogra tivra damshtragra koti paridashta vinasha murte nagari vahana sudabdi nivasha shaure Lakshmi Nrsimha mama dehi karavalambam. So here he prays, O Lord Nrsimha, I have been bitten by the tens of millions of terrible sharp fangs of the snake of material existence. Samsara sarpa vishadigda mahogra tivra damshtragra koti paridashta vinasha murte. Having been injected with such powerful poison. What is that poison? the poison of tens and millions of snake in this. It's an analogy. It's actually an analogy. We are being affected by so many problems while we are in this material world. So having been injected with its powerful poison, I have lost my consciousness as the eternal servant of Krishna. So being disturbed by so many problems in this material world, he is praying that one actually loses one's consciousness as an eternal servant of the Supreme Lord. That is our eternal position. Our eternal position is that we are all parts and parcels of the Supreme Lord and an eternal servant of the Supreme Lord. But owing to the miseries which we suffer in this material existence, we tend to forget our constitutional position. So therefore, praying to the Lord, taking shelter of the lotus feet of the Lord, beginning with Shravanam and Kirtanam, is actually the way and the means to revive this lost consciousness. So the best remedy for snake bite is nectar. So therefore, O Lord, you reside in the ocean of nectar and your carrier is Garuda, the great enemy of the snakes. So therefore, the snake is, millions of snakes are biting me, but you are actually the carrier of Garuda, who is a great enemy of the snakes. So therefore, please bless me, O Lord, from these snakes. Please bless me with the touch of your lotus hands. Samsara vriksha agabija mananta karma shakayutam karana patra mananga pushpam aruhya dukkha phalinam patitam dayalo Lakshmi Nrisimha mamadehi karavalambam. So he prays here, the tree of samsara or the material existence is sprouted from the seed of sinful desire. So why we are repeatedly in this material existence? Because of our sinful activities. And why are we committing sinful activities? Because there is a seed of sinful desire in our heart. And what is that sinful desire? That sinful desire is to enjoy separately from the Lord. So therefore, we end up committing many sins, and as a result of committing many sins, there are sinful reactions. And because there are sinful reactions, we are still repeatedly taking birth and death in this material world. So the unlimited reactions to fruitive activities are the branches of the seed. The senses are its leaves, and the flowers is Cupid's attraction of sex desire. O merciful one, I climbed up this tree, but I have only obtained the fruit of misery, and I am now fallen. O Lakshmi Nrisimha, please bless me. So therefore, one may ask these questions. What are those questions? Why exactly this COVID situation has come? Who created it? Why it is spreading like this? What is the solution for this? And why we are in this material world? Of course, it's a relevant question. The reason is being said by Shankaracharya here. This tree of samsara or the material existence, of which COVID is only a small part. It will come, it has come, it may go in future, but our whole life or our whole duration in the material existence is much more bigger than the time period in which the pandemic is going to exist. So the tree of samsara or material existence, first of all, one must introspect why one is in this material world. So there Shankaracharya is explaining to us, the tree of material existence is due to sinful desire, and the unlimited reactions to fruitive activities are the various branches of this tree, and the senses are its leaves, and the flowers are the attraction to the sex desire. Oh merciful one, I have somehow climbed this tree. So he's telling, I don't know, I have so many sinful desires. That is the reason I am a part of this material existence. That is the reason I am a part of this tree. So therefore, somehow or the other, I am in this world. Somehow or the other, I am facing this situation in which I am presently in. I don't know what, I have committed so many mistakes, but I don't know what are those mistakes. So many mistakes are there, definitely. Somehow I have become a part of this miserable material world. So therefore, having become a part of this tree of samsara, what is the thing which I have obtained? The only fruit I have obtained is the fruit of misery. and therefore I am completely suffering and fallen. And my only hope is you, the touch of your lotus hand. Lakshmi Nrisimha Mamadehi Karavalambam. Samsara Sagara Vishala Karala Kala Nakragraha Krasita Nigraha Vigrahasya Vyadasya Raganichayormini Piditasya Lakshmi Nrisimha Mamadehi Karavalambam. So now he prays, in the broad ocean of material existence, I am broken and smashed again and again. I think we have covered this. I am broken and smashed again and again by the powerful waves of my accumulated attachments. Grasped in the jaws of the fearful crocodile of the eternal time factor, I am pierced, ripped apart and swallowed. O Lakshmi Nrisimha, please bless me with the touch of your lotus hands. Samsara Sagara Nimajjana Muhyamanam Deenam Vilokaya Vibho Karunanidhe Mam Prahlada Keda Parihara Kritapatara Lakshmi Nrisimha Mamadehi Karavalambam. O all-powerful Lord, ocean of mercy, cast your glance upon me. I am bewildered, helplessly sinking in the sea of samsara. Deenam vilokaya vibho karunanidhe mam. Prahlada keda parihara kritavatara. You descended to remove the distress of your devotee Prahlad. So therefore, kindly cast your merciful glance upon me, so that I also may be able to overcome the distress of this material world. Samsara ghora gahane charato murare marogra bhikara vriga prachurarditasya artasya matsara nidakta sudukitasya Lakshmi Nrisimha Mamadehi Karavalambam. So here he prays, O Murari. Who is Murari? Krishna. O Lord Nrisimha, I have fallen into the pit of material existence and I am wandering just like an animal greatly tormented by fear of horrible death that awaits him. Suppose a hunter is going to shoot an animal, how the animal runs? It just runs hither and thither. So he's praying, I have fallen into the pit of material existence. Like we have all fallen into this pit of material existence where we are having repeated birth and death. And all of us are greatly afraid of death, which is inevitable to each and every one of us. But we are all actually completely fearful of death. I am wandering just like an animal greatly tormented by fear of horrible death. Now, who can actually alleviate us from that fear? Who can actually rescue us from that fear? That is Supreme Lord Nrsimhadev. I am wandering just like an animal greatly tormented by fear of horrible death that awaits him. Distressed and miserable, I am burnt by envy. We are all envious of one person or the other in this material world. So distressed and miserable, I am burnt by envy and I am fearful of death. O Lakshmi Nrisimha, please bless me with the touch of your lotus hands. Badva galeyam bhata bahutariya jantaha karshanti yatra bhavapasha shateryutam mam ekakinam paravashachakitam dayalo Lakshmi Nrisimha Mamadehi Karavalambam. So here he says, binding me with ropes, the serpents of Yamaraj drag me to his abode. After death, one is actually dragged by the servants of Yamaraj, the Yamadutas, to Yamapuri, Yamaraj's abode, beating me severely along the path. Bound by material existence in hundreds of ways, I stand alone, helpless and trembling under the influence of the superior force of Daiva Maya. O Lakshmi Nrisimha, please bless me with the touch of your lotus hands. So during death, what actually happens is, it is mentioned very detailed in the Garuda Purana. One is bound with ropes and one is taken to Yamapuri. And on the way, one is beaten very badly. So, bound by material existence in hundreds of ways, I am completely helpless and trembling. So please bless me and rescue me from this material existence. Lakshmipate Kamalanaಭ Suresh Vishnu Yagnesha Yajna Madhusudana Vishwarupa Brahmanya Keshava Janardana Vasudeva Lakshmi Nrisimha Mamadehi Karavalambam. So here he prays, you are the Lord of Lakshmi and the master of the demigods. O Vishnu, your navel is just like a lotus. You are the Lord of sacrifice. Yagnesha Yajna Madhusudana Vishwarupa. O Madhusudana, O Vishwarupa, you are always favorably disposed to the Brahmanas. Brahmanya Keshava Janardana Vasudeva. Who are the Brahmanas? The Brahmanas are those persons who are actually progressively rendering devotional service to the Lord and progressively advancing in devotional service of the Lord. So Lord is very, very kind. He is very favorably disposed to the Brahmanas because the Brahmanas, by their free will, are always putting their steps towards the Lord, towards the devotional service of the Lord. And they are slowly and gradually advancing in devotional service to the Lord. They are showing their love to the Lord by serving the Lord, by serving the Lord's lotus feet, by hearing about the Lord, by actually chanting the Lord's name, by preaching the glories of the Lord. So therefore, when one takes to a devotional service, one actually becomes very dear to the Lord. Like all of us have been trying for the past many days, and some of them have joined newly. When one takes to devotional service, one actually becomes very dear to the Lord. Namo Brahmanya Devaya, Go Brahmanya Hitaya Cha, Jagat Hitaya Krishnaya, Govindaya Namo Namaha. So it is glorified in Srimad Bhagavatam. Krishna is Supreme Lord is very favorably disposed to those persons who are actually putting steps. It may be a small step, but still, when one puts steps towards devotional service of the Lord, beginning with Shravanam and Kirtanam, when one takes time to hear about the Lord, to chant the Lord's glories, and in this way, when one puts step towards serving the Lord, one becomes very dear to the Lord. O Madhusudana, O Vishwarupa, Brahmanya Keshava Janardana Vasudeva, Yagnesha Yajna Madhusudana Vishwarupa, O Keshava, O Janardana, O Vasudeva, O Lakshmi Nrisimha, please bless me with the touch of your lotus hands. Ekena Chakrama Parena Karena Shankam, Anyena Sindutanayam Avalambya Tishtan, Vame Tarena Varada Bhaya Padma Chihnam, Lakshmi Nrisimha Mamadehi Karavalambam. So he prays here. In one of your four hands, you hold a Sudarshana disc, and in another, a conch. We are able to see here. There is a Sudarshana disc here, and there is a conch here. Ekena Chakram, Aparena Karena Shankham, Anyena Sindutanayam Avalambya Tishtan, Vame Tarena Varada Bhaya Padma Chihnam. Here he says, with another you embrace Lakshmi, who was born from the milk ocean, and with another on the left you bestow fearlessness. Are you able to see here? Lord is actually bestowing fearlessness. Abhayam. Vame Tarena Varada Bhaya Padma Chihnam. The palm of that hand, which is raised to give benediction, is marked with the lotus symbol. Vame Tarena Varada Bhaya Padma Chihnam. Padma Chihnam means the lotus symbol. O Lakshmi Nrisimha, please bless me with the touch of your lotus hands. So the only way to become fearless is by taking shelter of the Lord's lotus feet. And how to take shelter of the Lord's lotus feet? By performing devotional service, or it begins with hearing about the Lord. When we take time to hear about the Lord, hear about the Lord's glories, discuss about the Lord, glorify the Lord, then we are actually progressing towards the Supreme Lord's devotional service. The palm of the hand which is raised to give benediction is marked with the lotus symbol. So there is nothing which can give us fearlessness at this point of time. Is vaccine able to give us fearlessness? They are saying even if you take vaccine, there is a possibility, and I know many people who have taken at least one dose of the vaccine and who still got affected. And they are saying even after you take the vaccine, you should follow all measures. So can it give fearlessness? No. Then who can give fearlessness? We are wearing a helmet and we are, we are wearing a helmet and we are driving the vehicle on the road. One is wearing a seat belt and driving the car. But can it give fearlessness? Death may come anytime. An accident may happen anytime. So in this material world, what can give us fearlessness? Fearlessness can be given, can be bestowed only by the mercy of the Supreme Lord. Only the Supreme Lord can give us fearlessness. No, nothing else can give us fearlessness. Samashritaye padapallavaplavam mahatpadam punya yasho murare bhavam budir vatsa padam param padam 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 yet vipadam natesham. So it is said in 10th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam. Samashritaye padapallavaplavam mahatpadam punya yasho murare. So when one takes to the devotional service of the Lord, when one takes to Shravanam and Kirtanam, hearing about the Lord, chanting the glories of the Lord, then what happens is Bhavam Budir Vatsa Padam Param Padam 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 Yet Vipadam Natesham. That means the whole ocean of material existence is reduced by the mercy of the Lord into a small, how much water can be contained in a calf's footprint? Very small amount of water. So it becomes very easy to cross this ocean when one actually takes to the worship of lotus feet of the Lord, when one takes to the shelter of the Lord, when one takes to devotional service. This abhayam is bestowed by the Lord. In fact, that is one of the first things which one is able to feel when one is able, when one actually Mahadanasya Ureir Mahabalibir Ureir Mahabalibirindriya Nama Dehya Mohan Dakar Kuhare Vinipati Tasya Lakshmi Nrisimha Mamadehi Karavalambam. So he prays, although I was very wealthy, I am blind and without discrimination. I have been robbed of my great treasure by the thieves known as senses. Despite all my attempts to appease them with different types of offerings, they have thrown me into the pit of illusion and darkness. Oh Lakshmi Nrisimha, please bless me. So therefore, the senses are compared to the thieves here. And the senses actually tempt us. That if we actually play, how the senses tempt us through the mind. Our mind thinks that if my senses are happy, I am going to be happy. But actually, the uncontrolled senses are compared to thieves here. The thieves, which despite all my attempts to appease them in different ways, they have thrown me. When one actually forgets his relationship with Krishna, and when one enjoys sense gratification, when one reposes his faith in sense gratification, then what happens is he is actually thrown into the pit of illusion and darkness. What is that illusion? Repeated birth and death in this material existence. That is that illusion. So Shankaracharya prays, please bless me so that I come out of this pit of illusion and darkness. Prahlada Narada Parashara Pundarika Vyasadi Bhagavata Pungavahri Nivasa Bhaktanurakta Paripalana Parijata Lakshmi Nrisimha Mamadehi Karavalambam. So it is said here, you reside in the hearts of the best devotees such as Prahlad, Narada, Parashara, Pundarika, Vyasadeva and others. You are very fond of your devotees and you are their Parijata, the tree of protection. Oh Lakshmi Nrisimha, please bless me with the touch of your lotus hands. We have seen in the previous verse how the devotees or the Brahmanas are very dear to the Supreme Lord. So therefore, to attract Lord's mercy, one must actually take to the devotional service of the Lord. Lakshmi Nrisimha Charanabja Madhu Vratena Stotram Kritam Shupakaram Bhuvishankarena Yetat Patanti Manuja Hari Bhakti Yukta Lakshmi Nrisimha Mamadehi Karavalambam. So here he prays. This prayer which bestows auspiciousness in this world has been composed by Shankaracharya. Those who read this prayer with devotion to Supreme Lord Krishna, they attain the shelter of Sri Sri Lakshmi Narasimha's lotus feet and also attain their eternal spiritual form, which is never annihilated. So this is just an introductory part today. From tomorrow, we will actually be beginning the different verses. So let us end it with a prayer. Mangalam Narasimhaya, Mangalam Gunasindhave, Mangalam Mangalanam Nivasaya, Yada Drishaya Mangalam. Om Sarve Bhavati Sukhinaha, Sarve Shantu Niramaya, Sarve Bhattani Pashyantu, Ma Kaschid Dukkha Bhave. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Swasti. स्वस्ति प्रजभ्यान् परिपालयन्तं न्यायेन मार्गेण महिषा गोब्राह्मणेभ्यः शुभमस्तु नित्यं लोकाः समस्ता सुखिनो भवन्तु. ओम तत्सत श्री कृष्णार्पणमस्तु. So Kranti Prabhu, Shyam Sundaranand Prabhu, do we have any agenda today, or what would be the next thing?
Prabhuji, so today we'll end the session, but from tomorrow onwards, because we'll have the actual discussions, what we'll have is we'll have a quiz on every day. So whatever we have discussed in the session, we will put a quiz that will be posted 12 p.m. in the group, and whoever the devotees responds to that correctly, we'll be letting know that who were the winners by 8 p.m. in the group. And overall, we will take that who is the winner over the series, and the top 3 contestants would be getting the gifts to their home. So that is one we are thinking. And from tomorrow onwards, we'll be introducing the chanting session also. So one round after the session, we will all have chanting session.
So, today also quiz is ready.
Prabhuji?
For today also we have made few questions.
Sure. So that would be the introductory questions. We can have it.
For the quiz.
Oh.
We have made some multiple choice questions.
Yeah, so today, 12 o'clock, we will be posting the questionnaire. All the devotees who have attended the session can take the part, and we'll be announcing the results at 8 p.m. today. And also, Prabhu, I would like to add a couple of examples. So as we are discussing, like when we are taking the shelter of Lord Narasimha, we will not be having the fear. So there were 2 recent examples where the pure devotees were not having the fear of death. So one is His Holiness Bhakti Charu Maharaj. So we have a video recording of Maharaj saying that I know that condition is very critical in US, very miserable, and there is not even chance of me coming back. But in order to encourage the devotees feeling the enthusiasm in their hearts, I am traveling to US. So that is one example of not having fear of His Holiness Bhakti Charu Maharaj. And also recently we have the remembrance of Golok Govindas that is related to Pankajangri Prabhu. Maybe you can start sharing again, Prabhu, so that we will not have the other. So recently we had that Pankajangri Prabhu's remembrance by Golok Govindas Prabhuji. So he is saying, when we were in hospital in Kolkata, one day Pankajangri Prabhu was saying, I think I'll go back to Golok Vrindavan. So the attending nurse who was there in that room, she thought that Golok Vrindavan is similar to passing away. And she said, no, please don't say like that. May you get cured and stay here for a long time, and let the coronavirus go to Goloka. So at that point, even all the devotees and Pankajangri Prabhu all were laughing at that time. So here, when Pankajangri Prabhu was saying, I think I'll go back to Goloka. So that is not having fear. So when one is having the shelter at the lotus feet of the Lord, they will not have the fear. So these were the 2 things, Prabhu, I was.
Thank you, Kranti Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Prabhu. Any questions are allowed?
Hare Krishna. Yes, please. Yes, Prabhu.
Namaste. Dandavat Pranam Prabhu. Prabhu, one question which many others also may have got. Actually, yes. devotees are supposed to be very resilient to any kind of outside attacks, isn't it? Because health-wise we are very good. I have seen many of the devotees who are very good. They don't go to doctors also generally, in spite of any general health setbacks, because of internal resistance to disease. But it's unfortunate, but some of the devotees have become victims of this corona time. Can you explain why this is happening? And is it not a, is it a good sign or bad sign? That also explain, please.
Thank you for your question, Prabhu. It's a good question, actually. So, for those who have not heard clearly, what Prabhu wanted to ask was Raghavendra Prabhu. I think that is you, Prabhu? Raghavendra Prabhu only?
I am Teja Kondapalli Prabhu.
Teja. Hare Krishna. Yeah.
Hare
So,
Krishna.
what Teja Prabhu wanted to ask was why even those persons who have taken to devotional service, or why even devotees are getting affected. Yes, it is seen that devotees are getting affected, but one must understand when one says that when one says that one is a devotee, there may be different reasons actually. The more one is surrendered to Krishna, the more one is pure and the more one is advanced in devotional service, he is actually not subject to karmic reaction. He is actually Mahatmanastu Mam Partha Daivim Prakriti Mashrita. Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita. So when you say devotee, he may be somebody who is very new, or he may be somebody who is very advanced, but depending on his advancement, depending on his purity and his advancement, he is under either the control of karma or under the control of superior nature. So when one is under the control of superior nature, everything is under Krishna's control in the devotee's life. Probably Krishna the more one is under the control of superior nature, the more one is advanced. It is actually Lord's very personal plan in the devotee's life, so that the devotee can get another destination for his service. You see, the examples which Kranti Prabhu was mentioning a few minutes back, many advanced devotees also left. They got affected, but one cannot really ascertain whether it is due to their karma or it is no. We cannot tell. When one is advanced, it is actually Lord's plan. But one may be very new to devotional service, so still taking to devotional service, we should not worry so much about why one is getting affected. See, it is an ocean. We have fallen into the ocean. You cannot try to be in the ocean and not get wet, right? What do you say?
You are right.
Yeah. So when you are in the ocean, the person is drowned when you are in the ocean, you cannot expect to not get wet.
Yeah.
So similarly, we cannot ascertain why it affected one person. And although he is a devotee, we cannot ascertain these things. If one is very advanced, then that is a plan of the Lord for the devotee. That's all. To take him to another destination to continue his service. Whereas when one is not a devotee, he is subjected to karmic reaction. That is his karma. So all these things we'll be discussing in detail in our future discussions also. But as of now, one must understand that the more one is advanced, the more one is actually under the personal protection of the Lord. And when one is in the personal protection of the Lord, it is the Lord's plan. Sometimes the Lord might want to give a very small token of punishment instead of what he is actually destined for, if he takes very seriously to the lotus feet of the Lord. So the most important thing here is not to become judgmental why this person is getting affected and why that person not getting affected. That is not the main thing here. The main thing here should be to take shelter of the lotus feet of the Lord.
But so it is
does that address your question?
So it is only coincidental that some devotees also got affected during this time. It's not that
nothing is a coincidence. In spirituality, nothing is a coincidence. Either you are under the control of karma or you are under the personal protection of the Supreme Lord.
Okay.
So anything may happen. Sometimes one may become affected even by Lord's personal plan to that person. So it is up to us whether we want to be under the personal protection of the Supreme Lord or not.
Okay, okay.
When we are in this material world, anything can happen to anyone. But whether one is under the personal protection of the Supreme Lord, or whether we want to be under the clutches of karma, or whether we want to be under the personal protection of the Supreme Lord, is up to us. It is our free will. When we put our steps, when we use our free will properly and actually take to devotional service, then the more seriously we take to devotional service, the more we will be under the personal protection of the Lord. But that does not ensure that we may or may not get affected. So that is not very important also. The most important thing is how we are actually using our free will to move closer to the lotus feet of the Supreme Lord. There may be many reasons why one is affected. In a sense, if you want the reply, there may be many reasons why one is affected. We cannot ascertain or judge, but only one thing we can say that we can conclude is that our goal must be whether to get affected or not. To not get affected is not in our hand, but to go closer to the lotus feet of the Supreme Lord is our goal.
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. There is a question here.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Prabhuji, I have a question. Why does practicing devotees get angry and they blame others or the circumstances or the environment?
Can you please be a
they live?
little loud, Mataji? Your voice is not audible to me.
Yeah. Why does the practicing devotees are getting angry?
Why the practicing devotees are?
Getting angry and they blame others for the situation and all.
Practicing
For the-
devotees, why they are getting angry and they blame others.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, it is because we are practicing devotees. That is the reason. You have the reply, you have the answer in your question itself. We are not pure, we are still practicing. So therefore, we are not free from all this kama, krodha and lobha, right? What does it mean to be practicing? Practicing means not completely qualified. But see, anger is not wrong actually. Let me explain to you. Anger by itself is not wrong. It is all about for what purpose you are getting angry and how long you are holding that anger. That is what matters. See, Hanuman also got angry. He is a pure devotee of the Lord. But what is the reason he got angry? He got angry for a reason different from why somebody else gets angry for. He got angry because Ravana committed the mistake of kidnapping Mother Sita, right? That was for a very spiritual purpose. So getting angry is not wrong actually. But for what purpose you are getting angry and how long you are holding that anger. If Ravana had admitted his mistake, then probably he would not have held that against him, right?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Even the Lord gets angry.
Yeah.
So,
How to
because
control
again,
the anger?
specific reply is because we are practicing devotees. We are not yet pure devotees. We are still practicing.
Yes. Yes, Prabhuji. Prabhuji, how to control the anger in such situation as a practicing devotee?
How to control anger? One must know that one is still having this problem. When one knows that one is having this problem, then one has to be very honest to himself and one has to take more and more to the devotional service. That alone can actually purify us. Anger is not wrong, by the way, but only devotional service can purify that. You have to get angry for the right purpose and you should know that you should not hold that anger for a long time. Whatever it may be the purpose, you should not hold it for a long time, especially when why you got angry is actually settled and on whom you got anger is settled. One must not hold anger or grudge for a long time. Getting angry is normal and one must be very honest. We are not in that level, so we must be very honest and that must make us humble actually. It will not happen in a day. It needs the mercy of the Supreme Lord. It will happen gradually. Can a person affected by a very serious disease, can he be cured just like that or should he be patient?
Yeah, patient.
He should be patient, right? He may be taking the process, but the medicine will take some time. And depending on how intense the disease is, the time to resolve the disease also will depend on how intense the disease is, right?
Yes,
So one
Prabhuji.
must be honest actually. One must be honest and one must take help. Most importantly, one must take help from persons who are practicing in a better way, who are able to control anger better. And one must serve such persons. One must build proper relationship with such persons.
Okay, Prabhuji. Yeah. Thank
Okay.
you so much, Prabhuji.
Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna,